She know when they gonna take it, but I grab it, I'ma have it. I've been cutting my habits, so I gotta do it, man. I tell them the madness, cause every really but man, I want my status. Damn, they gonna see that I do this, they gonna see that I did this though. Now they say, oh shit, I can't do the same when you kidding, bro. Cause I spend my time just working, but I spend my time just grinding. And I spend my time in the studio with these lyrics, just combining. Just fortune all these diamonds, cause I made it from far. And nobody believed it, but I showed them what I was, it's sure.
My reaction when I first heard of the Acedeck Horizon was, oh, it's just going to be like the MISC Z3 with its shock suspensions, which is great for going in a straight line, and vertical damping, but requires a set of bindings to be able to turn and carve. However, after actually riding the Horizon, I immediately realized how wrong I was, but in a very good way. When I reviewed the Acedeck MISC Z3, which also came with the same shock suspension system, the MISC Z3 felt heavy and a little too stable. So stable that it was almost impossible to carve or make a simple turn without a full set of bindings. And because not everyone loves the idea of being tied down to a 50-pound vehicle, I only recommend the Z3 if you are okay with bindings and want a great off-road vehicle. But with the Horizon, these seemingly identical trucks feel surprisingly and shockingly agile, so much so that I don't even recommend using bindings at all. They are completely optional. The Horizon carves and turns almost as sharp as a double kingpin truck in its default bushing configuration right out of the box. In my turn test, the Horizon was able to make some of the sharpest turns, somewhere between the turn radius of double kingpin trucks and reverse kingpin trucks. Considering that just a year ago, the MISC Z3 could only go in a straight line without bindings, the Horizon's ability to carve and turn really flipped reality on its head for me. What's even more wild for me is that what I have here is only the entry model of the Acedeck Horizon. This is the cheapest 14S4P version with the Samsung 50S batteries, and it comes with a whopping 1036 watt-hours of batteries, a pair of larger than industry standard 6384 motors, and 8-inch tires. I have a feeling most people who get the Horizon are going to go for this one because this model is the most accessible of all the Horizon models in terms of affordability and power per dollar spent. Everything else you upgrade from here on is just icing on the cake. They are nice to have if you have the extra cash, but somewhat unnecessary for even the most demanding applications. Just how powerful are the 6384 motors compared to the bigger 6890 motors on the upgraded versions that are almost $1,000 more? If you are worried about missing out on power, don't be. I have 6890 motors on my Z3 and the Z1, and in all honesty, aside from having a higher top speed that tops out at a suicidal 44 miles per hour, they don't feel much different at all. If you are content with having a measly top speed of 37 miles per hour, you should be 100% satisfied with the 14S4P model. With great power comes great instability. The dual white bushings from the default configuration are only good up to 20 miles per hour. Anything faster and you'll get a ton of wobbles stemming from the rear of the board. No one spends thousands of dollars on such a powerful, monstrous machine just to carve on it. Lots of cheaper boards can carve just as well, if not better. What makes the Horizon unique is that it is currently the most powerful production board on the market. Even this entry model is equipped with a 160 amp ESC, blowing nearly every competitor out of the water. The result of all this power creates lots of wobbles at high speeds and full accelerations. If we want to tap into the full potential of the board, we need to stabilize the platform by swapping out the rear white 75A bushings for the red 85A bushings. After this tiny change, I noticed a huge stability improvement, even when both front and rear bushings were only set to the loosest settings. Unsurprisingly, I was able to hit up to 30 miles per hour and still feel extremely stable. The horizon is now so stable, it feels as if time is slowing down, and what used to be an absolutely terrifying speed now just feels like a brisk walk in the park. So much so that I had to do a double take on my remote looking at the speedometer just to make sure I wasn't looking at kilometers per hour instead of miles per hour. Now, to go even faster, I tightened up both the front and rear bushings and felt even more stable as I pushed over 30 miles per hour. It can definitely go faster, but 30 miles per hour is more than enough speed for me. Acedeck claims the top speed goes up to 37 miles per hour for the 4P version and 44 miles per hour for the 6P and 8P versions. Given how much headroom is still left on the remote dial when I hit 30, I'd say you should be able to hit 37 miles per hour with zero issues. The horizon is fast as f***, but how does that impact the battery draw and range? The claimed range on the Acedeck website is 35 miles. As for me, I got 21 miles in near freezing temperatures. I think it should be able to get 26 to 27 miles in warmer weather, considering there's usually a 20 to 30% range impact in this kind of temperature. Yes, the range falls right where I expect it to be. As a side note, I am about 190 pounds and rode exclusively in mode 3 and 4, with most of the ride in mode 3. With this in mind, you should be able to double this range if you get the 8P version, which effectively doubles the battery capacity. Now that we know the horizon is blazing fast, how is the build quality? Does it match the price you paid? When I first opened up my MISC Z3 about a year ago, when the new independent shock suspensions just came out, there was a lot of rattling going on with the truck arms, which were the result of a ton of moving parts in a first generation product. To be fair, when you put weight on the Z3, the noises go away. I'm happy to report that for the Horizon boards, the suspension trucks are improved. There is zero rattling going on and they are extremely quiet. As someone who is perfectly happy with my old Z3, I am impressed to see how Acedeck continuously improves the board based on user feedback. But not everything is perfect. The machine surface of this batch of aluminum parts isn't as smooth as the Z3 models. I can see different patterns left by the machines that process the surface of the aerospace grade metals. This is just a very small nitpick that doesn't affect performance in any way. In fact, I don't think most people will even notice this. It's just something I picked up on since I had the first batch of the shock suspensions. Somehow, Acedeck is able to fit two high lumen headlights into the truck housing. Talk about excellent utilization of space. One of the lights is a white high beam light and the other is a yellow low beam fog light. Personally, I think the yellow low beam looks amazing, is unique, and catches the attention of most drivers and pedestrians. So I always leave it on low beam as I ride, even during the day. From my testing, there's no detectable decrease in range when the light system is enabled. The tail light has been similarly revamped. When you turn the board on, the rear light flashes all kinds of colors, meaning it is a multicolor RGB LED module inside the rear truck. Acedeck promises that in 2025, they plan to release an upgraded remote for you to take advantage of additional light modes, which I imagine would include these RGB lights. Unfortunately, the rear lights are not super bright during the day. They should be supplemented with additional rear LEDs if you are really concerned about safety on the road. I have a helmet-mounted rear LED, and that's bright enough during the day. The rear lights are perfectly fine at night though. I just wish the rear lights were slightly brighter. Again, super small nitpicks. The Element Gear 4.0 Plus is made from high-strength stainless steel that is thermally treated. As a result, it becomes much harder and more durable. The gearbox is now 30% smaller, making it much lighter and much less likely to hit something on the underside of the board. And it goes without saying, gear drives are fully enclosed, which require virtually no maintenance and fully shield the drivetrain from debris, rust, and rocks. The 14S4P version comes with the 4.0 gear ratio option, while the 6P and 8P versions come with the 4.3 version. On paper, this should give the 6P and 8P versions more torque, but reduce top speed. However, the 6P and 8P are listed with an even higher top speed of 44 miles per hour compared to the 37 miles per hour of the 4P, which goes to show just how much more powerful the more expensive versions are. However, honestly, the 14S4P entry version has more than enough power and speed for me. The deck is 94 centimeters long and 27 centimeters wide. Made of maple and glass fiber, this composite deck is flexible, unlike its older Z3 sibling, giving the rider great vibration dampening and great rebound when carving. Covered by a thick EVA foam grip tape, the deck concaves up slightly to give the rider better control without sacrificing comfort, and the center of the board actually bulges upward while the footwell dips down below toward the ends of the deck. There are no gimmicky design choices, just tried and true features. The flexible battery structure is co-developed with Lin Power. I've actually reviewed an Evo MK1 Lite, which also utilizes similar battery structure technology designed to maximize flexibility while protecting the battery pack from vibration damage. You know, this is important because these packs are constantly moving, and moving parts equal high chances of malfunctions. But as a result of this collaboration, what we get as consumers is a brilliant deck system that is flexible when you carve and is also reliable and safe. The deck also comes with an internal mounting system with pre-drilled and threaded holes. I mentioned before that using bindings is purely optional, considering how this board is set up. So I don't think I'm going to use bindings at all, as I believe you can access 100% of the board's capabilities without them. Acedeck has also quietly improved the metal aerospace grade hubs. While they look the same as the Z3 rims, there are slight differences. I immediately noticed a smoother, more polished surface without those thin tabs sticking out. There are two versions of the wheel hubs. The 4Ps come with the standard size rims, and the 6P and 8P versions come with much larger metal rims that can fit bigger scooter tires. Is this the first time that I've seen a manufacturer venture outside of the standard wheel hub space? Most deviations in wheel hub designs are usually from a width standpoint, but remain constant at 3.75 inches in diameter. This comes with pros and cons. The pros are the ability to use scooter tires that are bigger than 8 inches, and all the cool tires from the scooter world are now open to e-skaters using these rims. Also, a side effect is a high top speed due to the larger wheel size. The downside is all the other tires that you have been using, the Evolve 7-inch tires, the Hotas, the Nova 6s, will no longer fit on these rims. You may have to get an extra set of standard sized wheel hubs if you want to utilize standard e-skate tires. The chargers have active cooling fans and are completely made out of metal. The 4P version gets a 7A charger, while the more expensive version gets the 9A version. The charging times are still about the same across the board, at less than 3 hours, because the 4P version has fewer batteries and takes less time to charge to full. Usually these fast chargers cost hundreds of dollars extra, but they are now included for free. Carving and turning on the Acedeck Horizon is so smooth and agile, it almost defies logic. On top of that, everything about this board, from the improved shock suspension trucks that eliminate rattling to the seriously powerful motors and ESC, feels like a massive leap forward in design and performance. The the flexible deck and co-developed battery structure mean comfort and reliability are baked right in, while the enclosed gear drives offer near zero maintenance and unbeatable protection against debris. Even the base 14S4P model is lightning fast and comes with a blazing top speed that'll leave you grinning ear to ear. And when you tally up all these features, insane power, vertical damping, stable ride, sharp turning radius, futuristic design, and minimal upkeep, it's easy to see why I think the Horizon is totally worth every penny.